What is up, homies? Welcome back to another trailer reaction from Heroes Reforged. We are checking out the first trailer for Ironheart. We were just talking how there's been not the greatest amount of marketing for this show yet, and it's been in the can for a couple years now. I'm looking forward to watching the show. I'm excited. Yesterday they released a little featurette where they had Ryan Coogler talking about it. He's an executive producer.
That was great.
But I like the fact that hopefully Disney's going to focus using him as sort of like the vehicle to push people to watch Ironheart. Because now's the time. Now's the time.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah. I love this character, and I thought that Dominique Thorne did a really great job, and she was really funny and really like young energy and really fresh and stuff in Wakanda Forever. Yeah. And I remember even when that was coming out that they had put out marketing material that's like, she auditioned for Shuri back with the first Black Panther. She auditioned with Chadwick Boseman. So there's this real full circle moment of this actor kind of getting to step into this world and working with Coogler. To see the success of the Kodak video from Coogler, just describing the different formats for Sinners, like that's the move, is that you get a guy like him who is so good at sharing his passion, but he's like so good at talking to regular people that like the promo video for this, the marketing video starts with him being like, I got into comics, I got into X-Men. Yeah. Because, you know, Marvel now has the rights to X-Men, so he can be like, my thing was maybe X-Force but he goes Wolverine. He's like, that was the character. I was really interested in the X-Men spinoffs. Anyway, Riri's a great character too. You know, I just thought that was so fun and kind of so real that like, this is what, you know, Ryan Coogler is of our generation. He's one of us. He's a guy who grew up with the stuff we grew up with. And he recognized like how meaningful this character was when she first showed up in comics a couple years back. And, you know, that it was a Brian Michael Bendis co-creation, and that that she is somebody who can be seen as like a part of the Iron Man family, but she really does in the comics like kind of have an identity of her own. She's not really like a War Machine, you know, Rhodey. She's not really like a Pepper Potts rescue. Riri is her own character, and from the comics that I've read of hers, her series, and when she was an Invincible Iron Man, and when she spun off and did her own thing, and it's all really cool and fun and interesting, and it just has that great youthful energy. So I frankly want to see more of these characters as sort of Young Avengers style characters that I feel like we also haven't seen enough of. Do you know what I mean? Other than Iman Vellani's Kamala Khan, who's been in 2 projects. I'm like, where's the rest of these kids? Where's more of Kate Bishop? Where's more of Eli Bradley?
Also, you know, like, also Kate Bishop, for example, is a character. Haley Steinfeld was like 23, now she's 28. I'm like, let's get it moving. Come on, guys. They're not getting younger. Well, let's check this out. Also, goes without saying, we will be watching this show on the channel. We'll have the uncut reactions on Patreon, the cut downs on YouTube, and yeah, look forward to that. But let's check out this trailer. In 3, 2, 1, go. Smart. Oh, cool.
Hello?
Oh no.
For real?
Es el Diablo.
Oh no!
I'm sorry?
Oh, what is this?
That's terrifying. That's terrifying.
What? That's crazy.
Damn, dude. The hood don't play, dude. This is crazy. Parker Robbins is an asshole.
I heard Riri Williams was a genius. So you in or out?
I don't know, man.
Are you crazy?
Bunch of money? I don't know, man.
Riri, I see you. I see you're fed up, waiting to be acknowledged for your greatness.
You are not the first genius at MIT.
That's great.
You're not working at one of those fancy tech firms.
After my internship abroad, I want to build something undeniable. Something
important.
iconic. It's a brand new
I can give you the tools to help you carry out your vision.
Don't do it.
But anyone who's ever accomplished anything iconic in life
Han Solo.
things to get it done.
Whoa.
What will you do, Riri?
You've bitten off a hell of a lot more than you can chew. I could chew a lot.
I could do a lot.
Nice. That looks cool.
Dude, it's clean, dude. It's just what I'm saying. I miss the iron suits, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna end up dead or in jail.
This is so much bigger than that.
Damn.
Oh, cool.
Great.
Yeah, dude. What else do you want?
This is wild.
Yeah.
A shady bunker.
My bunker's not shady. Would a shady bunker have that on the wall?
Good laugh, love.
It's literally above a crate of self-guided missiles.
I'm returning those.
Oh, you know, I forgot. I think I know who that character is. That
Alden Ehrenreich is playing?
Yeah, do you want to know? You want the spoiler? You want to know?
Sure. I'm probably not going to know who it is anyway.
Well, you will, because I think he's playing Obadiah Stane's son, Ezekiel Stane.
Oh, really?
Which is the Jeff Bridges, really tied into the Iron Man legacy, really tied into that world, which is a brilliant. I remember when that character Ezekiel Stane showed up in the comics, I was like, great. He has had a long lost son. He's got a son who's like vying for control of the Stane, legacy, and wants to whether he's a good guy or bad guy. I'm like, that's a great idea.
That's cool.
Super smart.
I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's a great, fun trailer. It has.
Yeah.
Here's the thing too.
Energy.
Like, I'm watching this trailer, and my brain is going, yeah, this is a little bit more geared towards like a younger audience, not necessarily kids, but it's that like 13 to 21, 22 range. And it kind of checks all the boxes. It looks fun. It looks funny. It looks action-packed. It's a nice looking show. Like, they really did some nice work on like making it look good. Great. We're at a place now, since 2008, where we can do Iron Man level visual effects in a TV show, and it looks solid.
True.
It's a great musical choice. I don't know. Like, I think it's going to be a really fun show. Like, this trailer doesn't necessarily give us the most depth in regards to what the story is, other than we're going to explore Riri's world a bit more. I'm excited to like get to know Riri Williams more so, because in Wakanda Forever, she has a very specific role, and we're not necessarily exploring her backstory, her family life, where she comes from, how all of that sort of informs her character. And that's what I'm looking forward to seeing in this show, is I just want to get to know who Riri Williams is, and why was she so inspired to create the Ironheart persona? And just to like, I just want to know who she is and how she fits into the world. Yeah. And hopefully leave us in a place where I'm like, cool, I'm now really excited. It was the same thing with Miss Marvel. I didn't know anything about Kamala Khan. I loved learning about her. I loved learning about her family. I loved seeing the action sequences, and it made me excited to see her in something new next. So that's kind of all my expectations and hopes are for this show. I'm not going into it with any sort of like expectations that are unrealistic, that it has to like check all of these crazy boxes. I just want to fall in love with the characters, and I want the story to be interesting enough that when we watch it on a week-to-week basis or whatever, that I'm excited to go back into it. Because if at the end of the day, we're watching the episodes and I'm just having a hard time getting hooked, then I think that there's fundamental issues with the development of the story of the choices that they made. But I think at the end of the day, as long as I feel like I'm connected to the character somehow, I think it's going to be a fun show to watch.
And I think like with this coming out now, but this is a show that has either been written and shot and in the can, like you said, for a while. I'm hoping that there's a strategic reason for that. I'm hoping that it wasn't just like, well, we've been kind of tweaking the show and kind of making it better and better, because I don't love when these projects, movies or TV shows, kind of feel like they're messed with. I really like this momentum that we have with Thunderbolts, this really great sort of post-pandemic, post-strikes momentum of these projects that really have a clear vision and they're able to execute it and deliver it. And the thing about this show too is that for the MCU's TV shows, the criticism has been, should this have just been a movie instead of split up into 6 episodes or split up into 9 episodes or whatever they're doing? And I think with varying degrees of success, the TV shows have sort of proved their worth, proved their existence. Ms. Marvel was one of them that I thought was great. And I think it still could have been stronger in terms of like the episodic nature the idea that like this is a TV show first and a addition to the MCU second. And I think it was mostly the strongest and could have tweaked even a little bit more to make it even better. But the key thing too with Ms. Marvel is the reason it works so well as a TV show, because like most great Marvel comics, you have a character who's a great character, but also has a great supporting cast. And that goes back to like Spider-Man had the best supporting cast in comics since the early 60s to now. And when Marvel is firing on all cylinders in the comics, they have a great supporting cast as well. And the Ms. Marvel was able to bring that to the show. It's like, here's another reason you love this character, her family, her friends, the world around her. And I'm hoping that Ironheart, this TV show, does the same thing, because it looks like it does. It looks like it has a great world that Riri, with her family members, her friends, the supporting cast that we get to explore, and that like every single week in, week out, the more time you spend with those characters, the more you like Riri in her world. And then later, and at the end, you do the tie-in to like, and now we're bringing her up to speed, and she's going to meet up with Kamala Khan, and she's going to meet up with the Avengers, or whatever it is that she's doing. So I'm also hoping that this show like very clearly states in terms of the timeline, hey, this is right after Wakanda Forever. It doesn't have to be, you know what I mean? I don't want the show to have to feel like it's like, oh, and now we're trying to keep up and catch up with the more recent developments of like Captain America Brave New World or the Thunderbolts or whatever. No, if Wakanda Forever took place mostly in 2025, which I think is supposed to be the year in which it takes place, then just have this take place right after. It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't have to.
I think it takes place like, I think I read somewhere it takes place like 2 months after Wakanda Forever.
Perfect. That's all you need. That's all. It should be like the Spider-Man Homecoming to Civil War. Right? Like that movie is just like a few months after Captain America Civil War. Speaking of, we brought back that MIT professor, that guy, which is so great. That's what the MCU should be doing, just bringing back these characters, these side characters. Well, I think it looks really great.
That's a big part of it too. I think moving forward is like, I don't want these projects to necessarily always feel like they have to tie into everything that's currently happening. I think it's okay if this show takes place right after the events of Wakanda Forever. And if there's other things that are happening simultaneously, it doesn't need to address all of them. It doesn't need to bring them up. I think it's also okay for these shows and movies to feel like Thunderbolts in the sense that they are like pretty self-contained. Like they take place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but we're not necessarily cutting to like Daredevil or cutting to Kingpin or cutting to Spider-Man or, like I don't always need that. I think for certain projects it's necessary if the story at its core is about that. But if this is just an Ironheart TV show for us to understand who Riri is, to understand her world, and to go on this journey with her that's a character builder, then I just want that to be the focus. I don't want it to be worried about trying to make it interconnect to other things, which, we brought up Ms. Marvel. Ms. Marvel, for the most part, kind of does the same thing. There's a little hint towards her being a mutant at the end of the series, but for the most part, it's pretty self-contained, and it's mostly just focused on sort of carving out its own history and telling its own story, which I really appreciate. So yeah, like I'm getting a little bit of like a Miss Marvel type of a vibe from this show, in the sense that it feels youthful, it feels energetic, it feels fun. And I know that Disney had the upfronts yesterday, and they talked about how Marvel's gonna, I don't want to say scale back. It is in some regard, but they're really going to focus on doing a maximum of three movies a year, 2 to 3 shows a year, or 1 to 2 shows a year, and then 1 or 2 animated shows. And I think that's great. I think what's happened, especially when we came out of the pandemic, Marvel, I don't know if it was like an obligation to satisfy stockholders or whatever the case may be, or they just wanted to get projects out. They really, really flooded the theaters and the digital streaming world with all of their stuff. And sometimes it felt like, oh man, it was a little tough to keep up, but also it felt like the quality, we lost some quality along the way. So I really hope that with them now being out of the pandemic, out of the strikes, that they can really be focused on a project per project basis. And I think it's helped to bring in people like Brad Winterbaum to oversee these television projects. And it's not just Kevin Feige overseeing every movie, every TV show, every spinoff, every animated series. I think as the Marvel Cinematic Universe grows, you got to bring more people in to oversee certain things, just to just to make sure that we're keeping the quality up. And yeah, like this show was in the can a couple years ago. I'm honestly like pretty okay if they went back and they maybe did some reshoots or they retooled the story a little bit, kind of like maybe not to the extent of Daredevil Born Again, but Marvel's kind of known for doing that. And if it's to improve the story and maybe make it a little bit stronger and to make it a little bit more fun, then you know, I'm fine with that. At the end of the day, like, I just want the story to pull me in. I want the characters to make me intrigued and all that stuff. So I don't know. It looks fun. I'm looking forward to it.
It looks great, dude. And just one more reminder too, like you and I, Adam, we're old men.
Yeah.
And this show is for young people. Like there were people that were born in the year 2008 that are going to be watching the show. And this is going to be the thing that connects them to the larger Marvel cast of characters or whatever. And I think that's
disgusting.
Great. That's great. It is. It is.
Jesus.
It is. And we should be old. Anyway, yeah, congrats to everybody who's working on this, and I can't wait to see it. It's going to come out the end of June.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but more marketing, please. More, just put more cameras on Ryan Coogler and just ask him to talk about stuff. He's so great. He's so
he is.
And I want to hear more from the other directors and writers and folks that are on this show. And I'd love to hear from some comic book people too, to kind of provide that context about Riri. And anyway, there's so much more to look forward to. So yeah, it looks great. Her suits look great, dude. I keep rewatching the trailer too, and like her actual Ironheart suits in this look dope. So maybe that sitting on the show for a little while meant like, hey, we're gonna make sure that the visual effects look good.
Totally.
So cool.
Yeah, I can't wait. But guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think about this first look at Ironheart? Make sure you guys check out everything else that we're watching on the channel, including everything on Patreon. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Heroes Reforged is gonna react. Heroes Reforged is gonna review. Heroes Reforged is gonna discuss. That's why we are watching.